Hello students, I am Dr. Madhuri Yadav, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, DBS College, Kanpur. Today I am here to discuss about Mendel's Law of Inheritance. This topic is very important for both BSc and MSc students. So before you proceed the Mendel's Law of Inheritance, let's see some things about the Mendel and why Mendel is known as the father of genetics. So, Mendel was born on 22nd July 1822 in Austria. He did his higher study in physics and mathematics and natural sciences. In 1856, he started his famous experiment on garden pea, that is Pisum sativum, and in 1865, he represented his paper Experiments in Plant Hybridization at Natural History Society of Brünn. But unfortunately, his work remained unnoticed at that time. Later, in 1900, Hugo de Vries, Carl Correns, and Erich Sermack rediscovered his findings independently and postulated three laws that are known as Mendel's law of inheritance. This opened a new field in biological science known as genetics, and Mendel is known as the father of genetics. Now let's see Mendel's law. These are: first, law of dominance or monohybrid cross. Second is law of segregation or purity of gametes. Third is law of independent assortment or dihybrid cross. Mendel's first law is law of dominance, which says in a cross between two organisms pure for any pair of contrasting character, the character which appear in first generation is called dominant and the one which is suppressed is called recessive. In this cross, recessive allele will always be masked by dominant allele. Therefore, a cross between a homozygous dominant and a homozygous recessive will always express the dominant phenotype. Thus, there is always uniform expression in F1 generation. Law of dominance can be explained with the help of monohybrid cross experiment. Now, what is monohybrid cross? A cross between two pure parents differing in a single pair of contrasting character is called monohybrid cross. It is a cross between two pure parents differing in a single pair of contrasting character. So let's see this monohybrid cross experiment. Mendel first selected some pure tall plant and some pure dwarf plant and then crossed them. After crossing, he found that all plants of F1 generation were tall. He started thinking, where is the dwarfness is gone? Then he allowed the selfing of all F1 hybrid and he found that dwarfness reappear in some plants. He got result all tall in F1 generation and tall and dwarf in F2 generation in the ratio of 3:1. Then he concluded that only dominant character expressed in F1 generation and not recessive character. The law of dominance is significant and true but not universally applicable. Do you know why? Because there are many examples where the dominant is not complete or absent and it shows intermediate expression in F1 generation. This is called incomplete dominance. For example, first, over dominance. also called hybrid vigor, proposed by G.H. Shull. In this example, F1 hybrid are superior than the parents of qualitative trait. For example, sickle cell animal. Second is in incomplete dominance, discovered by Correns in 4 o'clock plant Mirabilis jalapa. Incomplete dominance is obtained when the character under controlled by QTL means quantitative trait loci. Third is pseudodominance, the pattern of inheritance in which a single recessive allele is inherited but is still expressed is known as pseudodominance. Fourth is codominance, the genetic phenomena in which both alleles, a gene shows equal and independent expression, thus the character becomes mosaic. These are the example of incomplete dominance. That's why this law is significant and true, but not universally applicable. From the reappearance of recessive character in F2 generation, he concluded that in the F1 generation, factors do not mix with each other, but they remain together, and during gamete formation, these factors separate or segregate. This is the second law of inheritance, that is law of segregation. Law of segregation says the allelic pair in a hybrid segregate or separate during the formation of gametes, and that during the formation of new gametes it recessive only one of the two factors and are pure for a given trait. So this is also known as law of purity of gametes. This law also can be explained with the help of monohybrid cross. So take the same example of cross between tall and dwarf pea plant. In this reappear of recessive trait in F2 generation proof the law. This law is applicable for all organisms. Therefore, law of segregation is universally applicable. Next is law of independent assortment is based on dihybrid cross. So first let's see the dihybrid cross. Dihybrid cross, it is a cross between two pure parents differing in two pairs of contrasting characters. So let's see the Mendel's third law. Mendel's third law states that the alleles of two different genes get sorted in two gametes independently of one another. In other words, when a dihybrid forms gamete, assortment of alleles of different traits is independent of their original combination in the parents. Now let's see the dihybrid cross performed by Mendel. First, Mendel selected variety of pea plant having yellow and round seeds and another variety having green and wrinkled seed. He performed artificial cross and found that all seeds of F1 generation were yellow and round. Then he allowed selfing of F1 generation plant, and surprisingly he found that seed were four types: yellow round, yellow wrinkled, green round and green wrinkled in the ratio of 9:3:3:1. Out of four types, two were parental combination, that is capital R, capital R, capital Y, and small r, small y, and two were new, that is capital Y, small r, and small r is small y, capital R, capital R. The appearance of these new combination in F2 generation proves the law of independent assortment. The law of independent assortment is applicable only for those traits which are on different chromosomes and not for those which are on same chromosomes. Thus, law of independent assortment is not universally applicable. This is the another example of dihybrid cross. Thanks for watching.